Okay, so I guess this is kind of weird for me to do that, but I guess this is episode 100. Wow. Oh my god. I cannot believe that I made it that far. I wasn't even expecting to make it past episode 80 or 81, to be honest. I must say, thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys for being there. For everyone who has joined in on the podcast so far. I'm recording this one day prior to the release of the episode, which is Tuesday. The episode releases on Wednesday. And people had other plans for that episode, but I really wanna just take a minute and say that time has run out, sadly, and I don't want to postpone it now that I'm thinking about it. But I can do another special episode with my friends interviewing me. But I wanted to make this episode a little bit special for myself. I am not usually one to talk about myself much. That kind of contradicts some things I do or say. But I really want to try and stay humble and say that I couldn't do this without you guys. Here's to even more guests in the future, because I already have several episodes recorded after this one, and there's gonna be more. Because in August, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks on vacation, and now that I'm thinking out loud and thinking about it, I will need some content, but that's gonna come later. Enough with the rants, I digress. So let's start off with from the beginning. I started watching Call Me Kevin, and I discovered him, or I stumbled upon his channel on YouTube in 2019, I guess. And I started delving more and more into gaming, because I already was a gamer. I used to play a lot of Game Boy Advance growing up. I had a lot of Pokemon. I had some Pac-Man growing up. I even had an Atari as my first ever non-handheld console. And then I had a PSP, then a Nintendo DS, and a PS2. Well, not in that order, but still, you know the gist. Then, back in the Pentium days, I had a PC as well, and then an Xbox 360, a PS4. Now I have a Switch, a PC, and a PS5. But that's not the point. So I got onto the platform from Call Me Kevin onto Twitch. In 2020, I always heard him talk about streaming on Twitch, and I used to watch and get fascinated about him playing GTA RP or GTA Roleplay. And I'm looking back at my dashboard on Twitch the other day, and I looked at the streaming things, and it turns out that I streamed or test streamed for the first time in I think October of 2021, which I had no idea. But now that I remember, yeah, I had my laptop with me, my 1 megabyte DSL at the time. I live in a third world country, which is Lebanon, and we don't have that many developed things, and fiber is still not available in my area to this day. So I tried it a test try to see if I can stream, and I did some GTA RP on a random server. I had the rushes, but I still have kind of the videos, but they're in a weird format. I don't know if I can convert them. I've tried several times to convert them to MP4, but I don't think I forgot what the file type was. But yeah, I wasn't able to sub. Twitch wouldn't let me sub at the time. And then a few weeks afterwards, they gave us subs, but we couldn't cheer bits until 2022 or 2023 actually. And yeah, I started discovering more people, which led me to here. And funny enough, Don't Starve Together was also a game that got me, like, made me expand my horizons on Twitch. I started playing Don't Starve Together because of Call Me Kevin. Funny enough, I owe him a lot. So I started discovering people who played Don't Starve Together, who streamed it, and I was fascinated about the whole idea. And then I met someone in RP at the time, and I didn't know he was like a streamer. We played together, he taught me the ways of RP. That was after I delved into my first city when I got this PC in 2021. I started on elevated RP. I met a few friends. We're still friends to this day. I don't know if they listen to the podcast, but if they do, hi. You know yourselves. But yeah, afterwards I dipped out of the city because things started going weird and things started going a bit toxic there. So I went into another city, which was supposedly Purple RP at the time. And I think now it changed its name to Unscripted? I'm not sure. But in Purple RP, I had a very short run. I met someone, we played together for like a month, and then I also like had to dip out because things went even more toxic, given that the city had like around or over 200 people at the time, because it's considered like one of the big cities. Back in the day, there was no Pixel as well as the big city. And now it's ONX or Onyx. But yeah, we stayed friends up until like he stopped streaming, and we still spoke on Discord. And then I was told by him one time that he streamed, and I went to follow him, and he wasn't a partner at the time. So he had some content on YouTube, to be honest. And I was offered to edit some of these content, and he wanted to give back to me as help. And I was like, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. And things carried on, things dragged on, and today he's helping me with partner. I don't know how, but according to him, he's been like embedding me on sites, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to like dive deep into it, but yeah. But when he got partner at the time, a few months afterwards, his mom fell sick and he had to dip out. When he got back, his dad got sick, and then he dipped out for good. He used to barely do streams after that. He just did charity streams every now and then, and that's it. But yeah, I've met a lot of awesome, amazing people since then, and it was like a really good like journey. So yeah, I've met a lot of people. I've been given my first mod sword in a channel back in 2022, I guess. Yeah, back in 2022. And yeah, things dragged on. I really like helping out other people, like other streamers, and it's not tedious or a hassle. No, I enjoy that. I don't think it's overwhelming to me. Some people think it's kind of like overwhelming me, but it's not, trust me. So back when I started streaming, or actually I decided to give streaming a go for good in 2022. I tried going live from work, playing The Sims, because they have fiber at work, and I work at a radio station, and I still do to this day. And yeah, it didn't go well. I didn't know how to use or how to set up the headset correctly at the time. I had downloaded Slobs or Streamlabs OBS. That's how it's better known as. And I dabbled with it, and I went live for like, I think, half an hour. And then I didn't consider that as a stream because I wasn't speaking and I had no one in chat at the time. And then in January of 2023, I guess, I started streaming for real through my PS4. I started doing Kingdom Hearts 3. Then I did some L.A. Noire, and then Mom told me that my uncle, her brother, got me a PS5, and a PS5 helped facilitate everything. And yeah, I couldn't get affiliate for 9 months. I struggled with it, which is why I want to help people today get affiliate without any hassle, because I don't want them to go through what I went through. Because I used to stream 1 or 2 days a week, mostly Saturday, because my workplace was like so close to me. It's like a minute or two, or maybe even like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Saying 2 minutes, it's a bit exaggerating, but yeah. So I went live on Saturdays, and I did a lot of variety. But the bad thing, the hassle, was that every time I wanted to switch game, I had to end my stream, start the game, and go live again. It was a hassle, as I said, but hey, I powered through it. Then I started adding more days for affiliate, because you need to stream on 7 different days. And yeah, I got affiliate in September of 2023. And I think so, if I'm correct, that was 2022 actually. No, yeah, that was 2022 in January. When I did the test thing in November, that was The Sims. Then I did the testing for GTRP, that was in 2021. So 2022, September of 2022, because now I'm looking at my founders, it says like September of 2022, my first founder. So yeah, because I remember 2023 is when I got my better internet, the one I am able to stream with. And yeah, that's when I started like putting in the work and growing. I really want to keep it humble and say I don't consider myself as a big streamer, to be honest, because I'm human, just like you guys, and everybody deserves the love, and everybody deserves to be shown love and support. So this is what I want to keep doing if and when I get partner, to be honest. As for games, or actually no, let's talk about my chat for a bit. My chat is like, well, my whole channel is like about networking and stuff, so whoever comes by shouldn't feel discouraged to self-promo. I allow it because it's a networking channel. And as I said, I help people, or I try to help people grow, or with goals and stuff, and I want to keep it at that. So to whoever's listening, if you come by my channel and you have like a goal or something, don't be shy. In my corner of the web, or in my corner of Twitch, you're allowed to self-promo. Just don't make it your very first message, like, hey, I stream. Just make it genuine, like have a conversation, talk to me first, and then yeah, do it. Do it. If I ask you, that's fine. I'm not contradicting myself or putting boundaries or anything. I'm just saying, like, I've had a lot of, like, people say the N-word, not in my chat, but in other people's chats, and I'm not gatekeeping. I'm more of like protecting myself, you know, from these things, because there's a lot of TOS things that I want to avoid, and that's one of them. So yeah, you're welcome, as long as you don't say any slurs, as long as you're humble, as long as you're a good human being, all in all. As for the games I play variety. I play mostly simulators. I play cozy games like Sims or Supermarket Together, or those. Even the horror games that I play are so chill. I play third-person shooters. I play survival crafting, building games. I love these things. I really love them. I play a lot of Pokemon as well. Growing up and looking back, I used to think that people might judge if I ever like streamed or said I was playing Sims or something, because here in my culture there were people that used to kind of like point fingers and laugh if you don't play a shooter game as a guy, which is why what I used to do when I went to the internet cafe as a kid. I used to play like car games. I love vehicular destruction games, and like not racing games, but just like driving around and stuff. And San Andreas, GTA San Andreas. So I don't know, but I played another game that is like a first-person shooter, zombie or monster thing. That had like a retro feel to it, if we can call it that. And yeah, I grew from there. I went from there. So now I'm not discouraged, since I'm seeing like a lot of people play a lot of things. But the thing with Twitch is you gotta adapt. Twitch has a weird algorithm. It like propels you into more exposure. Let's use that term. If you're playing like a certain A-lister game, for example, like Clair Obscure, Expedition 33, maybe A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Dune, Awakening, like something like these. I don't think my PC can handle streaming Dune and playing it at the same time. So my focus is more about what I like. I do a lot of console games and I do a lot of PC games. So yeah, there's a fuck ton of games that I play. It's a wide spectrum. I cannot do first-person shooters most of the time unless it involves zombies, like 7 Days to Die. I love these. Dying Light, Dead Island, those I'm okay with. But like playing something like, I don't know, Escape from Tarkov or Call of Duty, I can't see myself playing those games, because I really don't enjoy them, you know? And plus, coming from where I come from, a Middle Eastern country, it's just like weird, because Dark Story, or yeah, Dark Story, where I come from, we kind of like go through these kind of like every single day, and it's not mentally good, but I don't mind watching them, to be honest. I really don't mind watching them. So yeah, I will not be playing or saying any games that I like or like playing the mini games. I just want to talk. I just want to rant a bit. I am at the moment and currently just aiming for partner on Twitch because there's been a lot of people around me saying that they applied to stream teams and they keep getting rejected, or some stream teams have some strict rules, like some of them, they know people from these teams, for example, like they know 6 or 7 people from that team, and the team that these 6 or 7 people are part of play mostly horror games, and then some friends don't play horror games that much, or the team's focus is only on horror games, and that's not what they do mostly. So other teams have like, you have to host someone on your team or from the team, like have them on the channel, like do a non-gaming, just chatting stream with them, introduce them to people. I am with and I am against this. I am against this because I don't mind hosting people and having people on my stream. Like we can have fun and play together, support each other, talk, game mostly. But I don't want to just sit there and talk to people. Like, let's say I don't know that teammate very well and they're new. I don't mind highlighting them once, but like having them on the stream every now and then having to just like, because I plan my streams, you know. I'm not saying this now, I regret saying it because I'm thinking about it in my head. It's not something bad, you know. I'm not saying I'm against hosting someone, but like I'd rather game with them and chat. And then there's that team, like let's say they have another rule saying like, oh, no adult things, like no adult themes, no sexual slangs, nothing too spicy. No. I don't want these, honestly, and I understand the hassle. Plus, if I ever were to make a stream team, the only rule is, besides being non-toxic and just like support each other, just raid a teammate once a month. The least. Like you can raid the teammate as many times as you want. You can raid other people. You can play whatever you want. I don't care. Just at least raid one teammate from the stream team once a month. That's the only rule of my stream team, or one of the 2 rules. Which is why I want to handpick people myself. And I don't want to open it to the public because I don't basically want to go around and check people's vibes and then having to go through their applications and reject or accept them. I really don't want to do that because I've been there myself. But yeah, 2024 has been, like both 2024 and 2025, both years have been huge roller coasters for me and many people. But 2024 witnessed my growth, like in a very big way, and I'm so grateful to that. Knock on wood, of course. And I'm still growing. Like I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm enjoying myself, but I'm doing it the healthy way, because I know some people stream every single day. I'm not saying I'm against that. You do you, boo. But to me, it's more healthy. Of course, they make it a job because they don't have anything else to do, and I understand that. I would do that if I were you as well. But it's good to take breaks, you know? Like, spare yourself or give yourself some spare time, because I only stream now 2 or 3 days a week. Like 2 days one week I stream on like 2 days, then the next week it would be 3 days, and then the week after is 2 days, and then after that 3 days. Depends. My schedule keeps fluctuating because of the days that my HR sets for me. And honestly, I don't have full control of how I pick them or what I pick, sadly. But I work at a radio station, as I mentioned before, probably. I am a sound engineer and a radio DJ. I broadcast, or I am the sound engineer. I engineer the news segment. I engineer a program on the radio, and I pick the playlist. I am in charge of the English songs, and I coordinate with my other colleague about the Arabic songs, because we speak Arabic here. Arabic first, French second, English third. Not everybody speaks English as fluently as I do, or they just have like a weird accent with it. So yeah, I honestly don't know what else to say. There's a lot that's been going on this year. A lot of drama, a lot of toxicity, a lot of ups and downs. My second cousin passed away in February at the age of 25 because of bone cancer. I miss her, to be honest, and I will never forget her. But you cannot stop life or life events, you know? You cannot cheat death. If you've watched the Final Fantasy movie, Final Destination movies, you would know what I'm saying. But there's a lot of things I've done on the internet that I regret out of impulsivity, actually. I wish I could go back and undo these or not do them whatsoever, or maybe like change the course of things to the best, to the better. But all in all, I'm so grateful for everything. Honestly, like every single person listening or was on the podcast, I'm so happy that you exist in my life. I'm so happy that you've accepted and happily guest starred on my podcast. I'm not done. It's not gonna stop here. I will be having some guests that I had early on, like probably the first 50 episodes. I will go through some guests and have them back on the podcast. Some of them dipped out of streaming, others are still going, and I want to have them back on the podcast because it's been over a year since I've had them, and I want to catch up with them in the podcast. I know I'm catching up with them like on their stream, and I know like some of them I basically talk to every day, but I want to do like more stuff with the podcast in the future. I want to do like a Dead by Daylight episode, let's say, one about like cozy games, one about stream teams, because I am part of two. I'm part of the fleet, and I'm part of Team OP. But yeah, that's basically the whole plan of what to come next, alongside new guests as well. I kind of shifted the content a bit. Now we talk about like instead of the play, delete, uninstall segment, we can talk like gaming and pop culture in some episodes. And then we have the Truth Serum episode, or Truth Serum segment, sorry. That's basically the first half of it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about gaming. As I've mentioned before, gaming has been quite a part of my life growing up. When I was a teenager, my cousins were kids. I was like, I think 16 or something. I don't remember correctly, but he had like him and his brother. They both had like PSPs and stuff. I used to borrow the PSP from one of them, and I used to just game all night, or at least until I fall asleep and stuff. When we used to sleep over on a Saturday at the mountain house, such good memories. I remember he had games like, I think, GTA, Liberty City Stories, and Vice City Stories. Those are my favorite two. I had a PSP of my own. I didn't actually borrow the PSP, now that I remember. I borrowed the game, like the UMD disc from him for the PSP. And then came the DS. I think I had a DS like in 2007, I guess. I don't think I was 16 though, but yeah, my mind's in shambles a little bit. Don't blame me, I'm getting old. In a month and a half from now, I'll be turning 31. So I forget a lot. But anyways, certain games used to fascinate and attract me as a kid. And I remember, I think one time, Mom got back with The Simpsons Hit and Run and GTA San Andreas on PS2 for me. I know that some, if not all or most parents, wouldn't like their children to play GTA. Because I remember, I think that was back in, like before the PSP and those, I think. I think 2005-ish. So yeah, I think 2005 I was 11. So most parents would be against their kids playing those type of violent games and such, but I think my parents were like cool about it because they simply know that it's just a video game, you know. I won't get violent because of it. There are some points in my life where I sought shelter or refuge or just an escape with video games. Kingdom Hearts was also a part of my childhood, or a part of me growing up. Cars was one. I think I enjoyed the first Cars game the most, where I go and like, besides the races, I just drive around and collect stuff and collect, I think, lightning bolts or something. I don't remember what they're called exactly. But me growing up was very interesting. It was a very interesting time. I'm remembering slowly on the Game Boy Advance SP, which I still have to this day. I had SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom, I think, or Creature from the Krusty Krab. One or the other. I'm pretty sure it was like Creature from the Krusty Krab, because I remember like it being a 2D side view platformer. And then I had like the Spy Kids movie game, I think Spy Kids 3 or Spy Kids 2. And I had a bunch of Pokemon movies. I was and still am a huge Pokemon nerd. To those who don't know, My top 5 favorite Pokemon are obviously Psyduck, Shelgon, Mudsdale, Rayquaza or Rayquaza, which however you want to pronounce it, and sometimes it fluctuates between Snorlax and Ghastly, but most of the time I veer towards Snorlax. Snorlax feels like he's fluffy. He's a misunderstood Pokemon, and I really wish I had like a gargantuan Snorlax plushie where I could just like sleep on its tummy and just forget the world. My parents' divorce played a lot on me, like marked me a lot as well growing up, but there was balance between this and video games, because as I said, I saw a refuge in a video game, and if anything was troubling me, it was always video games. I'm sorry to say that, but the Harry Potter video games, especially the 5th one, The Order of the Phoenix, the video game, were a part of my childhood growing up. I picked up The Order of the Phoenix, the video game, and I played it so many times. I forgot how many times, and I still remember how pretty it was, and it still is. Then I played the 6th one, I think, the Half-Blood Prince, and then of course came the 7th part, which is 2 games, because there were 2 movies of that. People deemed the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 to be like a very messy video game or double game. I felt like it was a bit messy, yeah, but it was fun, it was enjoyable. I would go back and play that. G-Force, the game based on the movie with the same name. It's about like a superhero hamster, if I remember. That was fun. Oh my god, Over the Edge. How could I forget Over the Edge? And Shrek 2 and Shrek the Third. I actually didn't play Shrek, so Shrek 2 and Shrek the Third, I played those. I tried playing Shrek Forever After, the movie game. It was weird. I still remember the Over the Hedge one. I want to see if it's like available somewhere, if it's in abandonware or something, because I'm down to replay it. The Simpsons Hit and Run, the Simpsons game as well. I played it, I streamed it like early on this year in 2025. Well, I tried finishing it, but oh my god, I need to just like be strategic with how I approach it, because I keep dying in a certain part close to endgame. I'm a huge Simpson fan, like literally a huge Simpson fan. I love the Simpsons so much. Anything that is yellow, I think I used to just like relate to, now that I'm remembering. Turns out I grew up to the color yellow. This is why I'm like, yellow is now my favorite color, or not is now, but like is my favorite color. SpongeBob, I loved The Simpsons. Funny enough, at some point I wanted to just like live in a yellow house, but I couldn't because I was a kid. And then mom used to bring me, I think, Legos or Playmobil, one or the other, like bricks, so I could play with them. And I used to separate the yellow bricks from the other colors, and just like build with yellow. And yellow is the color of sunshine and happiness, but it's also like the sun and how it burns down on you. So there's a lot to just intake here. Growing up, I discovered myself, my sexuality, and I started like experimenting at the age of 13 or 14. I started like experimenting. I tried dating girls. In the past, it was all a fail. I didn't enjoy it. We didn't get anywhere we wanted to, and I couldn't feel anything, honestly. Then I started dabbling with the idea of dating men, and I started feeling stuff. And then at like 22, I came out to my mother. And I always joke about this aspect, but it was a serious one at the time. What I joke about is Mom was a math teacher. I once sat her down and told her, Mom, I failed math and I'm gay. And the true story, or the real story, is that I texted her in 2016. I still remember having the iPhone 6S Plus, or I think the 7, one or the other, because I skipped one, either the 7 or the 8. I don't think I've ever had the 8, because I had the iPhone 5, 6, I think 7 for a little while, and then I had the X, and now I jumped from the X to the 14. But I came out to her, and then I like turned off notifications from my phone, turned off the internet, turned off the Wi-Fi, basically isolated myself. And I was like, this is it, like, it's over. She's gonna have like a panic attack and I'm gonna lose her. And lucky for me, she was more than accepting. Like, she was with open arms. She was very, she got upset a little bit in the beginning because I didn't tell her myself, and she had to like read it through text instead of me telling her face to face. That's what upset her. I'm very attached to my mother, more than my father, even though at some point I kind of act a little bit too harsh with my father, because at some point he was harsh to my mother. Like, if you compare him with who he is today compared to who he was in the past, there's a huge difference, like a huge scale of change that happened. Going back down memory lane isn't easy, you know. It's just that, like, I went into the studio at work, which is where I'm recording this part, like, not knowing what I'm gonna talk or not knowing how things are gonna head. And then I was like, just talk, maybe start gaming, then go mental health. I just held the microphone and started talking, and here we are. But growing up, I was bullied for my sexuality, or for my voice, actually. I remember one time at school, a bully just, how do I say it, like, pinned me with his dick. Literally, I'm saying that, like, he pinned me. He put his dick against me. It wasn't in the ass, I was facing him, and he pinned me, and then he held my forehead, and then rubbed the back of my head against the wall. lucky for me, actually, the surveillant, the person that was keeping an eye out on us, immediately noticed him. And he was like, it's not over. I didn't tell my parents that day because I didn't want to aggravate things. Yeah, I was one of those kids. But I discovered years later, like, I think it was probably in my 20s, I caught him on Grindr. How the turns have tabled. I caught him on Grindr. I was like, well, look who it is. And he's like, do you know me? I'm like, yeah, judging by your profile picture. We were in school and you bullied me. He didn't remember anything. And then I had to refresh his memory. He's like, oh, okay. And we spoke a little bit, but I didn't feel like I wanted to get myself involved just because of the harsh past that we had, or the harsh past experience. But overall, he was cute, honestly. But yeah, I've never had confidence in my voice. I didn't think I would ever create content like I'm doing today. Some people love my voice. Some people even tell me, like, you're very easy to listen to, you're very easy to talk to, which is how I was raised, honestly. Like, I'm soft-spoken. I hate that about myself. I just wanted something deeper, like a deeper voice. And you can't have everything. You cannot have everything in life, you know? So, yeah. I still hate my voice to this day, even though some people here are gonna like yell at me, or like just maybe message me on Discord or anywhere and tell me like, don't say that, you have a great voice. I've been there. I've been told that before. I'm digging deeper into my memory. I don't know where to start with this one. I have an eating disorder. I struggle with it every single day. I've tried everything recently because my job consists of me sitting down most of the time behind the computer. I do walk, I do go out, I do just walk around and stuff, but my weight has been yo-yo dieting. Like it's like fluctuating between thin, fat. I went back to thin from 2021 till 2023. I have no fucking clue what happened in 2024. But yeah, I am not that confident with my weight. I don't mind showing it off, but I don't really feel at peace with myself, to be honest. Most of my clothes don't fit anymore. I exercise every now and then. It's just that when I get back home from work, I'm tired and I just want to like sit down and game, or sit down and watch Twitch, one or the other, or do both. And I don't feel like doing anything. But when I have like some spare time, I still watch Twitch and I still carry on with my life. And I exercise as much as I can, but I think it's something I inherited, sadly, from my father. Because all of my father's family, well, 90% of them are fat. I'm not saying being fat is bad or is not good. I'm saying that it's impacting my heart at the moment. And I really don't wanna like look how I look today, body-wise. Some people told me I might have body dysmorphia. I don't know about that. But anyways, there is one thing I want to share with you besides that. Like, there's a lot more things, but I also have like depression, anxiety, which all of us have. Well, most of us have. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but depression and anxiety have been a huge part of my life, going or starting from teenage days up until like adulthood. I'm finding it very hard as I grow up to just maintain stuff. I was very irresponsible in my very early 20s. I was spending money back and forth. I didn't know the meaning of responsibility. And then when I got my first salary, because of that, not because of that actually, but like dad thought that I wasn't capable enough. When I got my first salary, before I started spending left and right, he took me out of bed and I was half asleep at the bank, and I didn't know what they were talking about because all I heard was like I couldn't hear anything because I was literally half asleep. And when my next salary came is when I learned that he had made a joint account transferring my salary onto his card directly. And I freaked out. I went crazy. I'm like, you have no right in taking my money. You have no right, absolutely no right in doing what you're doing right now. And I split the account. And then I started like being in charge of the money. I started spending. I don't make a lot of money, honestly. I try to go and live, like make ends meet. At least I never complain about money. Because I hate asking for money or stuff. It's not who I am. It's not how I was raised. It's just weird, repulsive. I don't know, like icky. But yeah, I just never had responsibility growing up, you know. And now that I'm in my 30s, the world is different. Set aside that there was a pandemic, set aside the economy, set aside whatever is going on in the world. Like everything is costly. And sometimes I ask myself, like, why? And I look at myself or a picture of myself when I was a kid and I'm like, I'm sorry, little Elijah. I disappointed you. I'm sorry. Every time I try to remember this, I start tearing up. I'm trying so hard to contain myself. But growing up, I wanted to be like someone important, someone... I don't like the word famous because it doesn't apply to me. I'm popular. Popular is the better word. There's a difference between popularity and fame. Being famous is being known by everybody on earth. Wherever you go, people are gonna follow you, run after you, want to take a picture with you, be with you. Popularity is like you're known by like a certain amount of people. Even if you meet them someday or on the streets or whatever, you have your presence contained. People know your name. That was weird on me when I just started like experiencing it like more and more. when I first like started my journey on Twitch, but I grew accustomed to it. There is something else I probably have shared in the past, but I'm gonna reshare it now. Sometimes when I'm watching YouTube or just randomly in bed, I feel like something just got thrown at me, or if my body was like thrown on the bed, when I hear a loud thud on the bed, as if I was like thrown onto it. And I'm still awake, I'm still aware, I'm watching YouTube. So some people told me that's astral projection, and that somehow resulted in sleep, or it's called sleep paralysis. There was a dream where I was being chased by a guy with a knife, and I was running on the sidewalk, and on top of my head, well, not right on top of my head, but like the sidewalk, there's a building that covers the whole sidewalk, and the sidewalk didn't seem to end. And every square meter or so, like something like that, there's like an AC vent, like that thing you put outside for the AC, the air conditioner, like the vent or that big fan that you put outside. Yeah, so they were falling one by one, and I was dodging them. And then I stood underneath the final one. It was shaking, but it didn't fall. And I was cornered by the guy, because it was like a cul-de-sac. And then he tried stabbing. This is where I was like, wake up, wake up. I couldn't wake up. I was aware of what's going on, and I was like kind of trying to regain consciousness. And I think that happened only once so far in my life. That was a scary experience, but I woke up in the end. After a struggle, I just powered through and woke up. Today is a special day, guys. I still am pondering around the idea of like this episode. It's episode 100, guys. Thank you everyone again for everything. The support on Twitch, the ongoing partner push. I'm not gonna give up. Like, I know that I did something that many people do, and I clicked it and I applied immediately. They came back to me. They were like, not so fast, we need consistency, and then you can reapply later. And I will do that. This is why we need to keep the numbers up. But one thing I want to say before I end this episode: people come and go, honestly, and I'm not saying it for it to be a bad thing. I'm just saying that because like I've met a lot of people during my journey, and some stuck around to this day. Others have just like vanished out of my life. There's a personal quote of mine that says, "I'm the hero of my own story. In yours, I would probably die." Because these people are kind of dead to me, who walked out of my life like suddenly by either like just trying to hurt me or something like that. So, but recently there's been a lot that's been going on, and if you guys have noticed that, or have noticed like I'm not in some streams but I am heavily present in other streams, it's because of, I don't know, like I feel weird about stuff. I feel like there's a lot of weird stuff happening in the world, and it always affects me. By weird, I mean like, it's not support for support. No, it shouldn't be, even though it should be, but I think it's against TOS, like Twitch TOS, but like, everything happens at the same time, you know, like, or time zones. They could stream at like 4 a.m. for me, 6 a.m. my time, or 8 a.m. my time. So if I don't show up, it's either one of these reasons that I cited, or because I was at work, or I wasn't looking at my phone and Twitch didn't tell me with the push notifications. So I apologize to every single person who listened up to this point and who hasn't seen me, or who haven't seen me in their chat for a while. And there's a lot I want to talk about, honestly, but I don't have the energy. I was running around today for the visa for the UK, and I had to wake up at 9:30 a.m. just to get like some paperwork done. And I came back home, didn't feel like sleeping, and once the clock hit 1 p.m., which was the time for me to head to work, I started getting tired and sleepy. I was like, motherfucker. Like, I was fine before that, even though I had slept like, I took a nap for 2 hours, then I took another nap for 2 hours, like separate, not one after the other. I want to thank specifically Calf Master for his consistency, and I'm sorry, Calf, we barely found time to do anything for this episode prior, because as I said, time zones, dude. You live in Australia, I live in the Middle East. But there will be another special episode that's kind of like a bracket or a continuation of this episode. I just wanted to rant and yap today. I wanted to thank everybody. I don't want to say names because I feel like I'm forgetting people, or if I don't mention this person, I might feel upset because I forgot them. But thank you, everybody. Individually, thank you for all the support. The journey is not over yet. And if I hit partner, or if I get partner actually, and if I get that check mark next to my name, doesn't mean that things are gonna change. No, nothing's gonna change. I'm still gonna support, still gonna be the same person. I'm still gonna be there for my people. I would never forget people, even the ones that hurt me. I still will never forget favors of people who sold me for other people and who just like kicked me out of their lives. I would never forget their favor. I'm not that kind of guy. But I hope you enjoyed my rant. I hope you got to know a little bit more about me. As I said, there will be a normal episode that's kind of like a bracket of this one. Once I get to it, we will do it. But I'm gonna try and make it so that it's soon, probably. Maybe even, if I'm lucky enough, around my birthday this year. We'll see. We'll talk. I will see you guys around on Twitch. Thank you so much again for all the support. Tune into the next episode 101. I love you all. Have a happy time zone.